first time I've ever colored Gladys's hair. So we've been looking on the iPad and we found some pictures of Sophia. Okay, we like the Sophia kind of meets Kim Kardashian kind of look. We're going to go for kind of a marbleized effect. You know, one of the things Gladys expressed to me, she didn't want any stripes in her hair. She's had her hair highlighted in the past and she's hated it. And she's ended up putting black over her hair because she's hated it. And that's what we're dealing with now. So she has some black on here that she's been covering up old highlights because she didn't like them in the past. So she's always steered away from highlights, but what I've explained to her today is we're going to use a different approach to the highlighting. We're going to do a different technique, and we're going to create this kind of a marbleized blend. So there's not going to be any stripes. Like in the past with foiling, sometimes it's hard on brunettes because you can get those, it's too highlighted, too striped. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use cotton pads instead of foil. This is our signature technique called BIOLIGHTS to achieve this great blend of caramels and honeys and brick. Is that one of the colors you said?
Yes,
brick, like a brick topaz on a brunette. But all the colors are going to melt and blend together, kind of like chocolate, right? We decided, we have a great picture of chocolate somewhere here. There. So it's kind of like a swirled chocolate, like just melting all these colors together into her brunette hair. All right? So that's our direction today. So we're ready to get started with the application. And I've chosen to use an ammonia-free lightener, which goes along really well with the cotton pads because it has a nice oil consistency to it. It has grapeseed oil in it and chamomile, which really blends well with the cotton. It doesn't dry out, it keeps it moist. And it's only going to lift about 3 to 4 levels of lift on her hair without lifting it too far. I like to start wherever I need color the most first. And on Gladys, I need most of this color on her ends. So I'm going to focus on the ends of her hair. I'm not focusing up here. Because half of this is virgin hair, the rest of it has been dyed black. So we all know this is going to be this tough hair to get through. So I'm going to focus down here. And I want more of a natural effect. I want like a really nice soft blended ombre effect in the end. Something that's going to grow in really well, that's not going to be high maintenance. And I always think once you have a nice palette underneath, nice dimension, she'll be able to take this anywhere she wants to go, depending on the season. So she'll be able to change it a little bit and change the tones. Once she has that nice blended dimension underneath, and we get some of this black out of here, she'll be able to show this off in spring a little differently, and in fall a little differently. So it'll be fun for her. She won't get bored. So as you can see, the cotton pads pretty much adhere to the hair. Once you put the color on, they pretty much stick, which allows you to go wherever you want to go. So if I want to focus color on the ends, I just swirl and layer the color right into it. It's all about creating a different experience also for the client. You know, it's also, I hear all the time from clients, you know, when I pull these out, they're like, I've never seen these before. And I'm like, good. You know, that's why they come to you, is because they want something they haven't done before. They've had it all done before. So clients want something new. And you can see also it's much more comfortable for the client. Unlike foil can be kind of hard and crinkling, and where these actually conform to the head shape and they stick right where you put them. So it's super, super easy to put in. So as you can see, I just weave my pieces out, lay my cotton in, use the tail of my comb at the part, flip it over, slide it out. The cotton pads are meant to conform to whatever they're laying up against. So they're meant to conform to the head shape. They're meant to conform to the curves of the head. Where foil is more about sectioning it off and getting really clean sections, where this is more about being an artist. This is more about using the head and building your shapes. When I think of myself as an artist, you know, we're actually painting on something round. We're not painting on something flat. And we're also, now we're not painting on metal, we're painting on a canvas. You know, we're moving away from those really diagrams, those head shapes and diagrams of foils mapped out. And we're kind of just going with the flow of the head. You know, it's like we're not painting by numbers anymore. We're now painting by feel. We're painting by the head shape, because everybody's head shape is so different. So it doesn't matter about the head or the pattern that I see on paper. It's about what's happening on each individual head. The other thing, everybody's head shape is different. Some people have a wider head, some people have a more narrow head. Gladys actually has a lot of hair, but she has a small head. So I can just do one section going all the way down, just bricklayering this, okay? Some people you'll have to take two sections. I'm just gonna do it all in one and bricklayer it. I find that it's almost like a spa treatment. You know, it's very it's like a massage for your head sometimes when women are getting their hair woven, and it feels good on the head. It's soft. You know, sometimes foils can be a little hard and cold, but these are much more soft. But what I love about them is I can get that detail like I can get with foiling, but yet I can kind of combine a artistic balayage effect with them too. So it gives me the best of both worlds. I get the detail of foiling, and yet I can do my artistic blending like I can with balayage. Because the color stays exactly where you put it. Wherever you put that color, it's going to stay. It's not going to move around like foil. So you have to remember that. So if you want some to start a little down farther, take them down farther. And then fade. I do a lot of fading. It's all in the brush stroke. And you can fold these once, or you can fold them twice. Whenever I'm doing tight to the root, I fold them twice. Whenever I'm doing more ombre, more towards the end, you only need to fold them once. See, unlike foil you would start underneath and build up. With these, I actually start on top and go down. Because remember, you're working with cotton, so it's going to lay, whatever you put it against, it's going to take that shape. So I wanted to take the shape of the head, not my hand. Where foil, you're working with a harder, firmer fabric, so you go the other way. This, you go this way. It'll be much easier. You can do them the other way. I've seen them done the other way, but I've seen people struggle doing them the other way. This is much easier. Okay, so when I'm done with that last section, I'll just take my clip out and fold them right down. Okay, so all the underneath layers are done. I'll spin her around, which was our focus. That's why I started there. I want that underneath. I want those ends lighter. Okay, so now I'm going to move towards the top, but I'm not going to do a lot on the top. And even when I get to the top, I'm going to be painting more towards the ends. Now the other thing with these cotton pads, you can do them I've done them on butt length hair. I've done them on really long hair. And the secret to that is just swirling this color around, swirling it into that color, and just keep going and layering it right in. And then wrapping it up. And again, I'm not focusing on color on the roots right now. It's all about the ends of the hair. And now you could ask, well, why wouldn't I just paint this on an ombre? Which I could, but then I'm not going to get as much detail. And in all honesty, I've seen some ombre techniques take longer than this. This is kind of, it is an ombre technique, a balayage technique. It's a balayage technique, but with more control. I can get a full head highlight in about 20 minutes now. And I've been talking, and I've been on it for 20 minutes. So we're almost done. We've got all the sides, the front, top. The only part I have not done is this little diamond crown portion, which is going to be my least part of highlights. This is why I saved this for last, because this is where I want the least highlights. Now the other thing that's interesting is I've only used one bulb. I've only used one lightener. But what's going to happen is we're going to get different tones in the hair. And why is that? Because we're letting this process, we're wrapping it up, but we're letting it process in more of a natural state rather than with metal. Sometimes with metal, it all turns out the same exact clean color. Wherever we started first, it's going to be a little lighter, which is what I wanted. Down in the bottom, then I moved up. So we're going to create about 3 different tones of lightness just with one bulb. So that's what I really like about these two. So now what I'm doing, I'm just combining a little balayage technique along with the biolights. And I really like this because it's kind of like putting your signature on a painting. You know, you want it to look original, you want it to look unique. So I'm just seeing where some of this hair falls and giving it just a little bit of extra pop. Just by putting color on the ends and then finger teasing it. So what the finger teasing does is wipes off the excess color and really focuses it on the ends. So then I can lay it down and it won't go into the rest of her hair. So I just pick out what I want. The piece looks appealing. I lighten it up and I finger tease it up. This way we get a really nice blend. But this takes out that whole having to tease the hair before you give somebody a balayage or an ombre. And I just think it looks a lot neater. And I know, you know, they sell balayage wands now in drugstores. You know, they're doing ombre kits in drugstores. So I think it's really important that we as professionals elevate our techniques so it really looks more professional and it turns out a lot nicer. You know, I've been fixing lately a lot of these ombre kits on clients. Ombre gone bad. The at-home ombre. About this experience so far, like how was this different from the foiling, highlighting techniques you've had done in the past so far? How was this different?
It was different in the fact that it was actually more delicate. I felt like it was softer on my head and faster.
Lattice process for about 20 minutes. And now I'm just going to take these down. And you can see inside already I've got this really nice, I've got these nice lighter pieces on the inside. And then I've got those balayage pieces on the outside. You can see how now we have those really pretty tones in Gladys's hair now, which will allow me to go in there and glaze right over top of this and create anything I want. You know, the other beauty of this also, it could actually look good just like this. So as it fades out, it's still going to wear real nice. It's not over processed. We didn't get those white stripes in her hair. We have like a nice tone in her hair, and that's from the combination of the no ammonia lightener along with the cotton pads.